Hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will discuss about ASP.NET page lifecycle. Before going into the video, if anyone having any doubt on ASP.NET, please watch my previous videos on .NET and ASP.NET. Okay, let us start our session on ASP.NET page lifecycle. So, what is ASP.NET lifecycle? When an ASP.NET application is launched, there are series of steps which are carried out. These series of steps makes up the lifecycle of the application. ASP.NET processes pages to produce dynamic output. The application and its pages instantiated and processed. ASP.NET compiles the pages dynamically. The ASP.NET lifecycle could be divided into two groups. What are the two groups? That is application lifecycle and page lifecycle. So here you can see the diagram of ASP.NET application lifecycle. Okay, so as you can see in the diagram, ASP.NET application lifecycle includes application start. What is application start? The web server executes the application start when a user requests an application for access. In this method, it sets all global variables to default. Object creation. What is object creation? Object creation holds all the HTTP context, HTTP request and HTTP response by the web server. It also contains information about the request, cookies and browsing information. HTTP application. So what is HTTP application? HTTP application is an object created by the web server. It helps to process all the subsequent information that is sent to the user. Dispose. Dispose is an event that is called before the application is destroyed. It also helps to release manually unmanaged resources when the objects are no longer needed. And the last one is application end. Application end is the last stage of the application lifecycle. It helps to unload the memory. Okay, next we can see the page lifecycle. So see here in the diagram you can see ASP.NET page lifecycle has certain phases which helps writing custom controls and initializing the application. So the different phases of page lifecycle are page request, page start, page initialization, page load, validation, event handling, rendering, unload. So what is page request? Page request is the first step of the page lifecycle. When a user request is made, then the user checks the request and compiles the pages. Once the compilation is done, then the request is sent back to the user. The next one is page start. So what is page start? During the page start time, the two objects known as requests and response objects are created. The request object is used to hold the information which was sent when the page was requested. The response object is used to hold the information which is sent back to the user. Page initialization. So what is page initialization? It helps to set all the controls on the pages. It has separate ID and it applies themes to the pages in this step. Page load. So page load is when the page is actually loaded with all the default values. So if a text box is supposed to have a default value, that value is loaded during the page load time. Validation. Sometimes there can be some validation set on the form. For example, there can be validation which says that a list box should have certain set of values. If the condition is false, then there should be an error in the loading the page. Event handling. Event handling takes place when the same pages are loaded. It is a response for the validation. When the same page is loaded, a postback event is called, which checks the page credentials. Rendering. What is rendering? Rendering happens before it sends all the information back to the user, and all this information is stored before being sent back. Unload. So what is unload? Unload is a process that helps in deleting all unwanted information from the memory once the output is sent to the user. Next, we can see ASP.NET page lifecycle events. So, what is ASP.NET page lifecycle events? In this, the lifecycle events includes pre-init, init complete, load view state, load post data, preload, load complete, pre-render complete, save state complete, unload. So at each stage of the page lifecycle, the page raises some events which could be coded. An event handler is basically a function or subroutine bound to the event using declarative attributes such as onClick or handle. So the page lifecycle events we can explain in detail. So pre-init. What is pre-init? Pre-init is the first event in page lifecycle. It checks the is postback property and it determines whether the page is a postback. It sets the themes and master pages, creates dynamic controls, and gets and sets profile property values. This event can be handled by overloading the onPreInit method or creating a page underscore pre-init handler. Init. What is init? Init event initializes the control property and the control tree is built. This event can be handled by overloading the onInit method or creating a page underscore init handler. Init complete event allows tracking of a view state. All the controls turn on view state tracking. Load view state event allows loading view state information into controls. Load post data. During this phase, the contents of all inputs fields are defined with the form tag are processed. Preload occurs before the postback data is loaded in the controls. The event can be handled by overloading the onPreload method or creating page underscore preload handler. The load event is raised for the page first and then recursively for all child controls. The controls in the control tree are created. This event can be handled by overloading the onload method or creating page underscore load handler. Load complete. What is load complete? The loading process is completed, control event handlers are run, and page validations takes place. This event can be handled by overloading the onload complete method or creating a page underscore load complete handler. Pre-render. What is a pre-render? The pre-render event occurs just before the output is rendered. Pre-render complete. What is pre-render complete? As the pre-render event is recursively fired for all child controls, this event ensures the completion of pre-rendering phase. Save state complete. The state of the control on the page is saved. Personalization control, control state and view state information is saved. The HTML markup is generated in this phase. This stage can be handled by overriding the render method or creating page underscore render handler. Unload. The unload is the last phase of page lifecycle. It resides the cleanup is done and all the resources and references such as database connections are freed. This event can be handled by modifying the unload method or creating a page unload handler. This concludes our session on ASP.NET page lifecycle. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Please like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.